Good morning and happy Saturn Sign Saturday. It is May the 31st, 2025. There is 31 days in May. It feels like time has slowed down a bit for us. And as we know, tomorrow is June 1st. We are still in Gemini season. So, what we like to do, and I want you guys to remember, and I'm so glad we pulled the card in your hand, the universe is your partner, is that don't forget to blow that cinnamon in at the front of your door, front door of your home. You want to blow it in as you're standing facing inside of your home with the door open, of course. And as you blow in that pinch of cinnamon inside your home, you want to welcome in peace, prosperity, abundance, protection, whatever it is that you decide to pray at the front door of your home. I'm not going to give you the exact prayer at the front door of my home because everyone should have their individualized prayer and protection or whatever they would like to do over their vessel where they live, where you reside. What is your home? Do that. I would highly suggest doing it around your car during this time as well, wherever that it is that you frequent. I would highly suggest that you do that. To take it a step further, you can sweep from the front to the back of your home. To take it a step further, you can throw salt, white, black, pink salt in the corners of your home. You could play, worship music throughout your home. You can clap your home out. There are several things you can do for the clearing of your home. It's all up to you, but you do want to make sure when you're doing the clearing of your home, right, that you have windows and doors open or that energy will still be there. Okay? Right now, when I was looking to see like the current planetary alignment, I kept hearing stiletto pumps in the club. Hey. But then I was like, Venus, Venus, Saturn, Neptune, hey, they're all in Aries. So I was like, oh, stiletto pumps in the club. All that fire energy, that Aries energy, stumping with the big dogs. If you didn't know, I call, Aries energy, I call that big D energy because it's so strong. It's so forceful. It's going to take over Aries energy. So that's exactly what it's doing. If we want to talk about horoscope wise and what today the energy is calling for today, what's a good day for, it's a good day for trading. It's a good day for making decisions in order to take charge back over your life and the decisions, especially now. And let's send all our condolences, not necessarily that they passed, no one unalived themselves, at least I hope not, but for those who were in Job Corps and they're going to just shut down Job Corps by June 2nd. And a lot of these kids, and I believe it's 16 to 24, they either, left high school, they could be homeless, they could be runaways, but they're trying to do something. Job Corps helps them do something with their lives, right? And now a lot of them are going to be misplaced. They're not shutting down all the location, but they're shutting down a major location of Job Corps. And a lot of these kids, and I say anywhere before the age of 25, you're still a child because your frontal lobe doesn't even fully develop, until after 25. These are still children and they're going to be misplaced. A lot of them don't have a place to go. A lot of them went there to get a trade. And the trade industry, and that's another thing too, I like to speak to, I'll speak to in a second. A trade industry, you can make six figures very quickly, by getting you a trade and getting a certificate. I actually highly recommend you get some type of certificate or some type of trade, even if you have a degree. I have a lot of friends of mine who got their degrees when we were in our 20s. And I stayed working. I had a trade first. And I was making more than them even with their degree at a point in time. And now they're just starting to catch me, And so I highly recommend you pick up some type of trade, even if you have a degree, because trades are always needed. And trades are not what you think they are all the time. Trades are not just the plumbers and the AC repairman, even though that's a good trade to have, or a mechanic. An accountant is a trade. You don't have to have a degree to be an accountant. You can actually go to a trade school to be an accountant. That's a trade. Or you can pick it up and experience through work, start in billing and then move your way over to accounts payable, accounts receivable, things of that nature. That's a trade. I think this, with the energy that we're in right now, I don't want to say I know, with the energy that we're in right now, especially with Aries being in Venusian energy, Aries being in Saturn energy, Aries being in Neptune energy, is that it's expanding the way of dreaming and expanding the way of doing. And so that is why right now if you wanted to elevate in the physical sense, go pick up a trade. Go explore something different outside of the normal societal standards, because you can take it on forcefully, and it's something that will stick with Saturn and Aries energy, and it's something that is justified, meaning that it's legitimate. It will be seen as legitimate, long as you're not harming anyone, of course, and long as it's not illegal. Okay, don't be walking around saying, "Girl, she told me to do something." Boy, man, she was talking. Sis was talking about, the fellas, man. Sis was talking about, being a street pharmacist ain't that bad. No, I didn't. I didn't say that. I don't agree with that lifestyle not for the reasons you all think. I don't agree with that lifestyle because, but I've seen it, and I've known people that do it only because you're indirectly affecting someone else's life and causing them harm by catering to their addiction, And when you start looking at it like that, those of you who are very street smart, and you start looking at it like that, you're like, nah, that's not right. Even if it is putting money in somebody's pocket, making someone richer, but you're taking away someone's life slowly but surely, because you're enabling the addiction. That's how I look at it. So yes, it is a business, but it's a flaw. But then I'm gonna throw out this caveat: when you work with people in toxic work environments, they're enabling those who may suffer from anxiety, and stress disorders. They're enabling that because they don't know how to manage their emotions, and they're insecure about their intelligence or their role in, they're bleeding on other people. So it's toxicity wherever you go. But when you start looking at things from a different perspective, it's easier to be like, nah, I ain't with that. And also it's easier to know how to navigate it when you're really looking at it from a higher perspective. And I challenge you all to do that. All right. So we pulled in your hand from the Shaman Stream Oracle card deck. I'm really starting to, for the month of May, I think I've been pulling this at this card. It's been calling me more than anything the month of May. And it says, you've done all you can do. So now is the time to rest and recharge instead of producing, doing, acting, strategizing. A hot tea, a good book, and a soft blanket are in order. Hello, somebody? Because what? Your girl finna go sit back down for somewhere. Possibly. For the rest of the day. It's a rainy, cozy day. I highly suggest you do that as well. But anyhow, we have reached 8 minutes. One thing I know I can do, boy, I can talk. These are supposed to be 3 minutes. Well, a little bit over 3 minutes, and they never are. So there's that. But you guys stay blessed, stay safe, and stay protected. I will see you guys later when I post the astrological movements for June. Also may come on later and do some readings for you guys later as we come into the new month of June. Yes, there's that. I will leave the information below because it is the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Some of you know, some of you don't know. Around the first of the month, I do run a special on Sundays, 15 minutes, $30, and that will be in the description box if you're interested. If you're not, that's fine with me. All right. I do screen people, by the way. Every reading, even though it's a booking site, every reading is not accepted. So if you're weird and you want some weirdo mess, you will politely be refunded. Now, once I accept your reading, no, you won't. But once I do reject readings, I'm like, nah, you being weird, bro. I'm not picking up on that energy because readings do take a lot. They take a lot. So please have grace for some of those authentic readers that are out there. And you're like, man, they ain't never open. They ain't never open on certain days. You don't need to be open every day to do reading. Number one, because first of all, how the planets are aligned is not even a good time to pull on that energy. That's number one. How your energy is moving. I may not be in the mood and I don't want to do a reading for you when I got an attitude. That's not fair to you, your soul or your spirit or mine. So have grace with those who are readers and who especially understand themselves, have a high level of self-awareness. I've practiced that over the years. It's been open almost 7 years now. Over the years, I have a high level of self-awareness, and I do not like to bleed on others. I believe that's not fair. That causes more harm than anything, people bleeding on others. And I wish more people were more self-aware. Am I a perfect person? No. But if I wake up like, nah. But you gotta, and I don't know, maybe this is for someone who's about to open a business. I don't know if you're about to do your own readings or something like that. even if it's not about spiritual readings or anything like that, even just in business in general, is that I highly recommend, I wish I did this before I actually went on, I guess, public years ago. This was years ago. Is really, I would take a good, like, maybe 120 days, and I would write down how I'm feeling every day, because we cycle. People cycle. You cycle every 20, every 180 days, 600, 3 months, 6 months. You go through emotional cycles, just like the moon phases, right? And I would start on your moon phase and when you were born with, and write down how you feeling and what you're going through. And that's how you can schedule out when you're open for business, depending on what it is that you do. Some things, you got to be open 24/7. Like, say if you're AC repairman, you got to be open. Be open on Sundays and be open on weekend when other people close. Get the business. But anyways, go through the 120-day, 180-day cycle. Write it down every day how you feeling, and then schedule your business accordingly. Schedule your openings accordingly, and it'll always be open. It'll always be full, because the universe is recognizing that, okay, this is somebody who's self-aware, and my child took the time to really get to know themselves and understand what they got going on, so that way they're not bleeding on others, and they're open to spread their love and joy, right? Because you're not always full of love and joy, but if you start knowing when you are, come on, man, the universe gonna be like, God, look at them over there, they ready today, let's go ahead and bless them, double them up, because they ready. God gonna be like, all right, pour the cup over, keep it pouring, and that's how you got your cup runneth over. It's deeper than here we go. Dang, I'm at 12 minutes now. I pull, oracle cards and things every day, but I be in my Bible too. I was raised in the church, and once you have an understanding of your own, you can start interpreting it, and you can start putting it into work, into your life, and really understanding what's going on, instead of just quoting a scripture every day. It's deeper than that. And once you start really saying, okay, utilizing the knowledge that you've gained, that's when it becomes wisdom, and you don't have to keep quoting. So just because someone doesn't quote a scripture or quote a saying all the time, look how they apply it. Are they applying it to their life? If the answer is yes, you got a wise person, wise counsel. If the answer is no, run. All right, now I'm leaving. You guys have a good day. Peace.